a video about our kids' names. I had really hoped to do this video with Tyler, but by the time he gets home from work, it's getting dark, and Ryder is just all over him, and like we're getting ready for dinner and settling down for the night. So it's really, really hard to film with him. So I'm going to have to do it without him, unfortunately. He's going to be so bummed he missed out. So when naming my kids, I thought about where I wanted names to come from. Did I want an important name in the family, or did I want a name with meaning behind it, or just a name that I liked? And my name is Jennifer Lynn, and my aunt's name is Jennifer, and then my other aunt, her middle name is Lynn. So that's where my name came from. For me, I mean, I love my name. I wanted my kids, their first names to just be theirs. Not a name from anybody else. A name that just belongs to them, and it's their name. And then the middle name, I always felt like a middle name is a really good way to lose your family and just bring like something like that into your child's name. So middle name for us is just their own name that we pick, that we decide that we like and we feel suits them or suits what we are looking for. And then the middle name is something that comes from family. And also in naming our kids, I grew up where I was always Jen B, because Jen was such a popular name that there was always at least one other Jen in my class. There was a couple times there was more than 2 Jens in a class. And I hated that I was never just Jen. Like, it was always Jen B or Gen 1 or Gen 2 or whatever the teacher decided to call us for the year. That's just what my name was. It was never just Jen. So I just want my kids to be just their names. So I tried really hard in doing that when naming my kids. So as everyone knows, our son Ryder, from Riding Through It, is where that came from. His name is Ryder James. And Ryder doesn't have any meaning behind it for us. I don't know what the meaning of the name is. Probably should, but I don't. I was actually just talking to my cousin one day. She works at a local baby store, and we were talking about baby names. And she just sent me a bunch of names of kids that she knew that came into the store and whatnot. And Ryder was on the list, and I was like, oh, I really, really like that. And I ran it by Tyler, not thinking he would like it, but he actually did too. So that's where that came from. And then his middle name is James, and James comes from like so many different places. So in 2010, my grandfather on my father's side passed away, and I was very, very close with him. I always knew that I wanted my son's middle name to be James for that reason. And also, my dad's name is James, and my brother's name is James. And it turns out that Tyler's middle name is also James. So it worked for my family and his to use the middle name James. So that's where Ryder James came from. It worked for our first name and being just a name that we really liked, and that wasn't too common. I mean, it's getting more popular now, I feel like. I've seen a couple more Ryders around, but it's not a name that you hear every single day, multiple times a day. And then James is a family name for both of our families. And then with baby girl, which I'm about to say her name, so if you haven't watched the name reveal, you should go watch that really quick first. So baby girl's name is Aurora Lynn, and that came from, Aurora is actually Tyler's name that he picked. He has always been obsessed with the Northern Lights, and our entire relationship has been very much about nature, and we're big campers, and outdoorsy, and the stars, and all sorts of stuff like that, when he thought of the name Aurora, I was like, ooh, I really, really like that. That's a really nice name. And I was like, ooh, I can call her Rory, which I am a big Gilmore Girls fan, so I was like, ooh, Rory, I'll have my own Rory. And then kind of going off of the Gilmore Girls part, which I feel really weird saying this, but in watching Gilmore Girls, if you've ever watched or if you're a fan and know, Lorelai, the mom, names her daughter Rory Lorelai after herself, because she said that men do it all the time, so why can't women name their daughters after themselves? And I had like a Lorelai moment, is what I call it, where I was like, I want my daughter's middle name to be Lynn, because that's my middle name, so why can't I name her after myself? And it's also, it flowed really nicely together, Aurora Lynn, I feel like. just flows nicely, and it just sounds really feminine and beautiful, and just a really, really pretty name. So her name is Aurora Lynn. So that's our kids' names. We have Ryder James and Aurora Lynn, and yeah, so just a fun video, background to our kids' names. Let me know below how you decided your kids' names or future kids' names or whatever. I think names are fun. Like, it's hard. Like, you think, yeah, I get to name a baby, and then you're like, oh God, I have to name a baby. You have to name a child. It's, give me their name as a baby and a child and an adult, like in the professional world. Like, it's a lot harder than you think to just name. Like, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to name a baby. No, like, there's a lot to think about. But anyways, so that's it for this video. Subscribe below if you want to see any future videos that we're due, any other fun videos like this. And I'll talk to you guys on my next video. Bye!